NFL free agency is already running hot with some top running backs landing with some new teams in free agency. How's that going to impact Dynasty Fantasy Football? How's that going to impact our Dynasty trades? We're going to find out today. Before we do, you need to click that subscribe button because we're talking about Dynasty Fantasy Football, building your teams and rookie drafts all season long, every single day. Click that button. Stop missing out. But DeAndre Swift is going to the Chicago Bears. DeAndre Swift was productive last year with the Eagles, started the season off hot, especially after that slow game in week 1 against the Patriots where everybody was looking at him as a dud, and then he blew up. The time to sell him in Dynasty was between weeks 2 and 8. That's when you should have sold him if you were going to sell. Right now, you're kind of a holder. And no one's really diving into buy right now. It looks like it could be good for his stock, but we do have some competition there. We do have a rookie quarterback coming to this team, but D'Onta Foreman's gone. This team dealt with injuries last year. They want to remedy that. They do have Caleb Williams coming in more than likely, which means they need a pass-catching running back. They need to be more stable at running back. They need some upside at running back. And DeAndre Swift at that price tag is the man to do it. Is the man to help them out. They can't pay out of their eyeballs for the top running backs. They can get Swift and maybe a rookie to go along with Roschon Johnson and Herbert. Let them fight it out for the spot. See what happens. But DeAndre Swift is going to get opportunities with his team. DeAndre Swift is going to get opportunities to catch some checkdowns, maybe some goal line work. He is going to have some upside, but it depends on the cost. Right now, he's RB20 on the market in Dynasty Fantasy Football. Will he go a little bit lower? Will he go a little bit higher? I think he's going to hover about the same. People are waiting to see where he goes in the market. If he went to one of those grand locations, those grand landing spots, sure, he would have went up like any other running back. Here, he's treading water in the same spot, RB20-ish. He's not going to go down too low. He's not going to go up too high. And it really depends on where you're going to buy him at. When you look at rookie draft capital, you look at that run in the second round, are you willing to go one of those running backs or pivot to Swift? I imagine you would rather take a chance on one of those rookies, take a chance at that upside, see what's going to be there, especially with the talent there at wide receiver. So you're more than likely looking at dealing for that second round pick. If not, you're trying to get him for something cheaper than that, early third, late second. It's going to be really hard to get a deal done, but that's kind of the range you're looking at because you're not looking at a first round pick for this guy. You're definitely not doing that. You're not spending a first for him, and you're not going to expect to sell a first for him. It's going to be somewhere in the second. Early third is probably going to be the sweet spot. Late second, 210, 211, 212. That's what you're going to expect when you look at the market. When you look at like 1,000 Dynasty trades, that's probably going to be the sweet spot there of what people are going to be looking at. DeAndre Swift, RB2 range in Dynasty. Are you going to pay that price? Where are you at with him? But the Titans signed Tony Pollard today. Tony Pollard fell on his face last year, did not provide the return on investment you were wanting, drafting him so high in startups, drafting him so high in redraft, but he did show some flashes of production last year. He had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 RB1 weeks. If you count week 18, I know a lot of you guys don't. Also 2 RB2 weeks, a lot of down weeks as well. He does have some pop. He does have some size. He can be explosive. He can catch the ball in the backfield. And we know about this Titans offense is that they like to run the football. Derrick Henry's gone. He's not coming back. That's 261 rushing attempts. That's got to go somewhere. Maybe a little bit more in the passing game. Maybe Will Levis slings the rock a little bit more. Maybe Tyjae Spears gets more opportunities. Maybe Tony Pollard gets a boatload of touches. There's going to be some opportunities in this offense for these running backs. These running backs got to step up. Which running back is stepping up? Because Tony Pollard is valued as RB24. I don't look for the market to go off on this. I look for the market to stay flatline. Maybe RB20. Maybe go up to around there. RB18, maybe somewhere around that range. And that's a what-if range because it's different from league to league. Looking at value, very similar to DeAndre Swift. Are you wanting to sell out of that running back round in the second round? Are you wanting to pivot away from those wide receivers in the second round? Are you fading into the third round, late second round? Where are you at here with Tony Pollard? Where will the wheels be greased on trades? That's what I'm saying here For you, it might be different from the guy down the street. From what I'm seeing here, if we look at 1,000 leagues, when we look at the middle of the second round, it's going to be an interesting dichotomy with Pollard and Swift. Some people like to trade for the veteran. Some people like to trade for the pick. Some people want the liquidity with the pick because they can move that and funnel it around to next year after. Tony Pollard's never going to be a first-round pick in Dynasty ever again. He's in that one-year window. Could be getting an opportunity in an offense that likes to run the football, keep the clock slow. That could be his upside. He could be getting another opportunity. He's got to keep Tajae Spears at bay. Later part of the second round's where liquidity is going to happen. A lot of people are going to buy at the middle part of the second round. Early second, late first is too much. Mid-second's going to be like the sweet spot to the latter part of the second round. But you look at Tajae Spears. He has a lot of upside. He popped off last year. He shared a lot of work with Derrick Henry. Split the snaps almost 50-50. But Derrick Henry saw the workload. Could we be seeing the same? I highly doubt it. I see a ramp up for Tajae Spears. Just not a complete ramp up. When we look at Tajae Spears going into the offseason, you had to expect a running back to go to the Titans. With how much they run the football, you had to expect a running back to go here. I think Tony Pollard is a great buffer. You don't want Saquon Barkley. You don't want them spending a top pick. You do not want them spending that kind of capital. I think Pollard's a great buffer for Tajae Spears. I think these two are going to match pretty good, considering you're going to get speed and pop out of both these players. Tajae Spears good in the passing game, and his value is going to drop a little bit. And we saw Tajae Spears get some opportunity, get some run, get some production here last year as a rookie with Derrick Henry hogging the workload. He's being valued as RB15. That value got hot. It got too hot. And this is going to simmer it down a bit to where you can buy him. That's it. It's going to simmer him down to a second-round pick, late second-round pick, early third-round pick. Kick the tires, see what comes back at you. But I'd rather have him at a reduced cost than buying him at RB15. That was too hot. That was screaming high. Now it's going to cool off a little bit, which is a good thing, which is going to put him more at an obtainable value that you can strike at. Tajae Spears, I think you can buy the discount, buy the dip, and I would do that quickly before everybody starts to settle in and start to think rationally about Tajae Spears, Tony Pollard, because this is a good opportunity for both running backs. There's a lot of volume here. There's a lot of opportunity to go with these running backs. Which one wins out on the volume? That is going to be the question. But both of them are cheap, and I want the cheapest one. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go after the cheaper running back. I think both of them are very obtainable. You might be able to stack them together. Let me know what you think about these running backs in the comments below. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. Thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video.